Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, a podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. Of course, I'm your host, the Most Black Spartan, of course, with the guys to my left, your right, depending on your screen's flip. Show guy Joe and Tafari, guys. How you doing this evening?
See, I told you he was contractually obligated to be here if anything Sonic related was coming up.
I still need to binge the show eventually.
Fair enough.
I was literally telling him in pre-show, it's like, where's Tafari? I think he's like contractually bound to be here because of Knuckles. And then he said, you didn't watch Knuckles. It's like, no, he's still contractually bound to be here.
I haven't watched it yet, but I forgot they like restocked every amiibo like over the last couple of weeks, and I ordered a Sonic one like a month ago. I forgot, and then I got the notification today. So I had to go like rush to Best Buy and pick it up before they close. So
you said Terry Bogard very weirdly.
God bless.
You know, I never got my hands on that franchise. I understand the Terry hype, but I had to get a Sonic, a Sephiroth, and I got the Advent Children variant of Cloud on the way.
Fair enough. But much like we usually say, guys, we are a little bit of the older generation, so we do try to watch our language, but words do fly. At the same time, there will be trailers that will be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. I'm fairly certain one of them is tonight. So again, viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So let's start off with the good news. Just because we saw it coming, again, Ryan Reynolds doesn't disappoint us. Again, we are going to show the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. I stress this very heavily. This is Deadpool and Wolverine. This trailer is definitely not for kids. I have said it. I feel I think we've covered all our legalities and things that you can't sit there and say we didn't warn you guys. But yes, let's talk about it. It is the Deadpool Wolverine trailer.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Here we go. Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
Life is a mystery.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Toys are so silly.
This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Want to do some cocaine?
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
Even snowboarding?
Even disco dust.
White girl interrupted?
Even force bump.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes! But I can't.
And that was a trailer, guys, for Deadpool and Wolverine. there is no other words I can sit there and say is that, well, Kevin Feige does have a line, and cocaine was the line. But
no, I got
aside
a
from
word for it.
that,
It's called demonetized.
well, I mean that too. But we'll run that risk. But with that being said, there's so much to unpack from this. But I have to give Tafari props because Tafari of all people. If you don't know what Tafari does, number one, this man is constantly working. Number two, he always shoots the shot. And the reason why I'm building up to this is because of this here. Tafari, you can tell him what you did. You can go. You can take it.
You know, it's funny. That was my second or third time putting up that tweet because I kept misspelling it, and then I thought it was like a goof account because there's so many on Twitter now, and then I looked and like, oh no, that's the real Ryan Reynolds, and I'm just like, you want to come watch it with us, or can I at least? How do I secure my parents' invite? And my replies have been in shambles for days thanks to that tweet.
I mean, but still, the fact that he turned around and said, for all those that can't see, Tafari did say, showed my parents the Deadpool Wolverine trailer. My dad's a comic head, so he sold me action. Meanwhile, my mom, great song selection, Anthony Reynolds, Real Hugh Jackman. They're both officially on board. Again, we don't ever expect this, but Ryan Reynolds did respond directly to Tafari. I'll tell your parents I'll see them July 26th. If they have any questions during the film, I'll be happy to stop the movie and provide thoughtful answers in real time. A win is a win. I'm gonna call it what it is. A win is a win. But no, that is very cool to actually. I mean, we always talk about it would be cool to actually get responses back from the same people that that brought us these amazing things. And at the same time, you got Ryan Reynolds to respond to you in the only way and fashion he knows how. Which again, I have to give you props for that one. But taking away from the trailer, fellas, anybody want to start with what they saw and what we probably will expect to see, or just guessing? I mean, right now, I know outside the very few things we've seen, and I'm just going to throw them out there. Of course, Giant Man's Head, which is a direct link to a Hank Pym story. The Red Skull, yes, it is. I had to ask somebody.
It's Old Man Logan.
I thought it was Old Man Logan.
It's Old Man Logan.
It's connected to Old Man Logan.
They gave a backstory for it. They gave a backstory for Pym Falls.
From what I remember, I guess it was more along the lines of what happened during the Old Man Logan. I have to go back and actually reread that exact comic of what exactly happened, but that's where it's being pulled from. So a lot of people are like, "Is Ant-Man dead in the MCU?" No, this is being pulled from Old Man Logan. So it is being pulled from a comic story. Joe, which I had to give him credit for because he was the first person to call it. The fact that we did see Cassandra Nova, which looks like we will be seeing more of Professor X's family in this movie. And then there was the Doctor Strange portals, if you will. So this, a lot of people are speculating as far as, is this going to be linked to the other MCU movies? Or are we going to see other cameos? Because other actors, we've seen Halle Berry get thrown around. We've seen James Marsden get thrown around. We've seen, I forgot the woman that played Jean Grey in the Bryan Singer series. I forgot her name already.
Jensen.
Thank you. Their names have been thrown around. So the cameo list is still secretive because nothing is being confirmed. But aside from that, anybody else want to throw out what they've seen or what they theorize?
They're still theorizing the Swifties come in as Dazzler.
They've been
in the press box together at a lot of NFL games.
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. I am not. But again, it's Ryan Reynolds. He trolls this. He does troll, so we really shouldn't be surprised about this. But I'm not against it if it is. I mean, think about it. This is the MCU, which technically anybody they could say it's a Dazzler from a different MCU, from different multiverse. So I'm not against it. I could see Ryan Reynolds doing it. I can even see him bringing back Storm just for Halle Berry to sit there and go, "Why am I here?" I thought my contract obligation was done. Why am I here? He can even bring back James Marsden and sit there and say, "Well, of all the ways I've died in the first one, I guess I have to come back and redeem myself somehow." He can even go back and, as we joked on Blurred's Eye View just this past Tuesday, or Thursday, I'm sorry, we joked about every Sony movie possibly having a cameo, and Deadpool is going back and murdering every character. So it's possible. I mean, I'm not against it, but it'd be possible. But Joe, but anybody else? Because I'm looking forward to it just because of what is possible there. But again, is there anything else in that trailer that we're missing, guys?
Rob Liefeld, what Rob Liefeld reference with Liefeld's Just Feed, which is hilarious on its own. The vehicles being from Captain America. Let me think. The fact that there's a red sash scene in one scene, which may be Elektra. Red energy pulse, which may be Wanda, or Mephisto confirmed.
Joe, your audio's went out. Yeah, your audio went out, Joe.
Unplugged.
Try again. Nope, you're still out. But while Joe's fixing that, let's see. What did Miss Final Max say? I love the bit about how they can't talk about cocaine. Yeah, that part was pretty funny. The fact that he talked about. I'm sorry, Joe. Try again. Did you say something?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now you got it. Say what you're gonna say beforehand.
Let me think. The vehicles being from Captain America 1, Red Skull's car, Captain America's bike, the Rob Liefeld foot store, which in itself is genius. A red sash blowing in the wind at one point during the forest scene may either mean Elektra, Jennifer Garner, Elektra specifically. Red energy bolt in the background, meaning possibly confirmed of Wanda, or a multiverse Wanda. That or Mephisto's confirmed. I truly believe he would roll into that role.
Just to mess with us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm sure there's going to be a scene. If we're in Old Man Logan world, God, we got better get ready for some Hulks. Some very poorly CGI'd Hulks.
I just not thought about this. What's to keep him from doing Eric Bana's Hulk? There's nothing. There's nothing contractually obligating stopping him from using Eric Bana's Hulk.
Probably Eric Bana because it's the Hulk based off his likeness.
I mean, technically,
Universal Studios has nothing to do with Marvel.
I thought the rights expired on Hulk.
Yeah, because
Nope.
I mean,
It says Hulk's done at the moment.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought the
They're
rights
not Kevin
expired.
Feige, Bob Iger.
Okay.
I know something happened with the rights because it's on Disney Plus now. It wasn't at one point.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It's possible. I mean, I would say it's possible if the rights were expired. I'd say it's open season. But as Joe said, if the rights have been expired, then they can't do it. But who knows? Who knows what they have done with Deadpool Wolverine? It's so under wraps right now that we're not even caring about the story. We're just trying to see how many cameos he can throw into this.
I'm curious where they are. I'm curious where they are TVA wise, as far as between or after Loki seasons.
This is after Loki because we do see the giant cloud again coming towards them in Old Man Logan. So I think this is after Loki.
Okay, so we're seeing that cloud monster that they faced in Loki. I forgot what they called it.
Elias, which makes me curious if we're going to see Renslayer or if this is what they described Elias to be, which was to be basically a cleanup crew before he was just put into the void. Apparently, he was just roaming the multiverse before Kang put the chains on him.
Well, you know what's crazy? Renslayer, the last time we left her, is sitting outside of time.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
He was getting ready to get eaten anyway, so...
That's what everybody thinks because she didn't get eaten on screen, she might be like controlling him now.
Right. Which would be interesting, but no. I mean, just from the aspects of this, like I said, I'm expecting. Well, we're expecting. I mean, we expect from Deadpool movie over the top craziness, another Celine Dion number. We're expecting the whole nine because, again, it is from all intents and purposes. It looks like they're sticking with the rated R, which I'm glad. They haven't.
Juggernaut's going to be in this.
Yeah, I don't see why not. He didn't die. I mean, he didn't die in 2. He just got shocked the wrong way. But I mean, he still should make an appearance. I don't see why not.
It'd be a waste to not have him in Cable in this after the last two movies, which apparently this is a third Deadpool film, but not Deadpool 3.
Yes, more Wham. Wham actually got a bump in playing since Deadpool, by the way.
So did Madonna, and like even Ryan Reynolds is like, look, Like a Prayer getting back on the charts is pure coincidence. We actually have nothing to do with it.
Although what's so funny about that, he is, as Mr. Final Max did talk about more Wham. Wham wasn't, okay, let me take this back. Wham was known to previous generations before 1994. Everybody after that got introduced to it by Deadpool. So let me just point it out that way. Everybody's like, is this a new band? No, you're young and you're finding out about music previously. That's all it is. But no, Deadpool Wolverine just seems like it's going to be a great movie. Again, cannot wait until it finally comes out. Oh, it's going to be fun to watch. But some quick news, like I said, not a lot in the news circuit today, guys, but we got to talk about this because Joe brought this up about Tekken 8, and I'm starting to think this is the way. I'm hoping this is not the path for fighting games, but again, I'm concerned. What I'm talking about is, guys, for Tekken 8, the reviews right now are going to the negative part. And again, you're probably wondering what's going on. It's like, is it review bombing? Sort of. Because let's be honest, if somebody doesn't like something, of course, they'll try to bomb it to hell and say it's terrible, it's bad, it's trash, shouldn't play it. But there's other problems. They're seeing requests like characters like Elisa to get deleted from the game. Much of the complaints, as they said in the article, seem to be from the Tekken shop, where they're announcing premium content like costumes, accessories, things that were probably available before, having issues being locked now. The fact that if you want a certain costume or item, that you have to pay for it. And of course, this is the whole thing that we keep on saying about microtransactions. That yes, we get it, how fighting games are in the market fighting games. They're going in seasons now, which means that you are getting DLC, you are going to be getting characters as they're released. You're going to probably be getting annual or holiday themed costumes. You're probably going to be getting additional things as far as character customization. But with all these things that does come with it, unfortunately, transactions come with it as well. So, and Joe had said this way before, and I give Joe credit for this, because microtransactions can kill a game faster than anything about the game itself. Where if you basically nickel and dime your customers into buying things just to customize or to get characters or to get stages or to get access to things, which makes no sense after paying the initial $70 for it, people are going to stop playing it. So this is what's happening with Tekken 8 happening right now. I'd say yes, but Tafari, Joe, what do you guys think?
That's not what is happening at all. So the biggest issue with this pass is that we are only getting cosmetics for avatars for the arcade scene, where it's our little me figures, and not the actual fighter figures itself. To access that, you have to do the premium pass, which gives you both character customization for characters and the avatar thing. But that's not the biggest issue.
That's still microtransaction, but go ahead.
No, not the way you think. They have what's called the Street Fighter issue, where they cost, like, say you want the Tekken 3 Jin costume, that costs $4.
Okay.
You have to spend $10 because there is no $4 increment. It's $10, $20, $30, $40. So what they're doing is, you pay the $10, you get the premium pass for $6. That gives you that extra $4 in order to buy the thing. So it's not even that it's microtransaction, is that there is no flat out way to buy the exact item you want. Now, the opposite side of this is something that Harada has gone on Twitter numerous times saying, hey, figured out this microtransaction thing. I mean, if you can buy something for the exact amount of money it says for without having to buy a bulk price, then yes, Smash Brothers did figure it out. But Harada has gone on record numerous times saying, it's like, if we don't do this, you don't get characters. You don't get stages. You
But here's
don't
the
get
thing.
this.
That's still a weak sauce argument. That's still saying you have to pay more to get the exact thing that you want, but in order to do so, you still have some left over. But they're saying that, okay, in order for us to do or give you what you want, you're still overpaying because they can't give you the exact price. That's nickel and diming.
I mean, you're not wrong on that, but the biggest issue is not the nickel diming; it's the bulk price.
Yes.
Period.
And why? That's what that because a lot of players. And I'm sorry, Tafari, you about to say something?
No, I didn't know anything because that's what I was confused about. Was why is it getting so many negative reviews this late after the release? And I guess this is just the fans' way of communicating their issues.
Well, it's the thing that I've always sat there and said that with the future of how they do games and the fact that they've introduced fighting seasons into the fighting games and some games beyond that, especially like games like Apex Legends, Call of Duty, they introduce seasons. I get that to a certain extent, but it's almost like the Battle Pass system. I hate the Battle Pass system because you're telling me, because again, I always stress this very heavily. Whenever it comes to Battle Passes, you are paying for releases to digital content that you yourself do not own. You're basically paying for the right to use it. And if said developers decide at any time they want to pull it, you've lost your money because you don't get that access anymore. So again, that's what I've always hated about microtransactions. And it's the same thing here in fighting games. That's why for me, it's like, I'd rather just, don't get me wrong, I love fighting games, but I'd rather wait until the entire season's completed and then just get all the fires I want then. That way I know I have access to everything versus nickel and diming me to death. But that's just me. Like I said, that's just me on that.
The other issue.
Go ahead, Joe.
The other issue we've had is that several prominent Tekken 7 people have come out to say the game is too aggressive, the game is not fun. To which a lot of us said, that sounds like skill issue. You can't adapt, shut up and move on. Because I understand these are highly prominent people. I give nothing but love and respect to Nee and Arslan. But your time is probably over if you have failed to adapt within the first 3 months of this game from your previous play experience. I'm sorry, your frame data, the frame data you analyzed for years, because Tekken 7 was out for literally years, does not match up with Tekken 8 anymore. Learn, adapt, or get out of the way for the new crew.
Well, this is why I say there needs to be, for me, and I will say this because there is some hopefully adaptation to it, that you do have your casuals and then you have your ranked. Now, if you're playing in ranked, you got no excuse because ranked is only going to put you whatever your current rank is. So if you were doing okay, let's just use Street Fighter. If you were doing okay in bronze, worked your way up to silver, then gold, and then you're having difficulty in gold, hey, that's the nature of the beast. It's where you're at. But if you don't have like a casual area where folks that just want to come on and play and, not be subjugated to somebody who's just trying to beef up their stats or things of that nature, I can understand that argument there. But if you have an area for casuals and you have an area for rank, then just stay in casual. That's the easiest solution, personally. But I also agree with you, Joe. It's just that you are going to get those folks that, let's be honest, if you can't adapt to a fighting system that's been put out there, you cannot ask the same people who develop that fighting system for a handful of others who may not be able to master it. You can't sit there and say, well, we need you to water it down because we can't adjust to what the current system is. You can't ask folks to do that.
No, I mean, these are Evo level players saying the game's too aggressive, systems are broken. Now, Tekken actually did just go through a big patch where they had some issues that they had to fix and are still fixing some other problems. Characters still an issue. Eddie Gordo plays so weirdly, and the Eddie Gordo thing on its own is its own issue, because if you don't buy Eddie Gordo, you can't actually download anybody using Eddie Gordo Ghost to practice against. You have to physically buy. You have to buy the character. So that goes back to your nickel and diming thing. Like that's that's a huge issue. To where even if I don't own him, I can fight against him, but I can't get your ghost to practice against him. That's a problem.
Right.
But like for people of that high caliber, I can only assume it's because you've memorized a certain amount of frame data over the multiple years of playing this game, and now that frame data is obsolete and you can't move forward. Which I say, oh well, get out of the way for the new names.
No, that's
I'm in red. I'm in red rank. I know these guys are in like the purple and black ranks.
Mm-hmm.
They can get over their bad selves.
Yeah. But Safari, the Nicola. Okay.
I just saw this like before we got on. So I'm like, this is perfect.
Oh, it is perfect because I know exactly what this is. So for all those that are wondering what the nickel and dime is in a nutshell, this should help.
Wow, you guys, you got a really good game here. It seems like you paid a lot of attention to detail and you all really cared about this game. There is passion in this room.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we just worked really hard, man. I don't know how we pulled it off, but the team is amazing.
Remove half of it. What? Remove half of the game.
Then we'll sell it back to them as DLC.
What? No! We can't!
Do it. We'll drip feed them content that's already in the game.
But they'll blame us!
I don't care!
They'll hate us!
Money!
We can't! We can't! No!
Put a day one pre-order.
I won't do it! Please! Wow.
Yep, that makes sense. That is 100% accurate.
I feel like that's a direct response to the Tekken Cross Street Fighter debacle, where they found out that half the cast was already on the disc.
Yeah, which is still, or it's even worse when it's disc lock content. Remember that whole entire issue where you had to pay to get access to what's already on a physical disc, which I thought was still
that's
crazy.
the Tekken Street Fighter thing. It was like 20, like
I thought. Wait. Besides that, wasn't
10
another
or 12 extra characters were already on the disc.
Yeah, there was another game though that was like that.
I don't know if it was on the disc, but I know Ashura's Wrath. They basically sold you the ending.
Yeah, that too. But there was. It's gonna bug me to death now. There was another game that had disc lock content that you had to pay to get it out, and it escapes me right now. I was making such a big qualm about it when it first came out, but I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, it's crazy that we talk about this at the same time Evo Japan 2024 is going on, which I have to find footage of that to see exactly what's going on. For all those who don't know, the Evo tournament, as Joe said, one of the bigger Evo tournaments that used to be here in Las Vegas. I think did Capcom buy Evo? If my memory serves me right.
I think Sony did.
Sony or Capcom, because of issues with a certain individual that Evo kind of got shut down for a while, but then it got purchased. But anyway,
I think it's Sony.
It might be Sony. I might be thinking Sony, not Capcom. It might be Sony, to be honest with you. But with Evo going on in Japan, like right now, because Japan's a day ahead of us, they're much like things that happen in Evo. They usually turn around. Thank you, Mr. Final Max. Sony bought Evo. Thank you, sir.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so what's actually going on right now? Usually Evo guys, they usually either release news about games, fighters, DLCs, things of that nature. Most likely what we think will probably come out, of course, Akuma for Street Fighter 6. They might show gameplay from that. I'm looking forward to it. Akuma is one of my favorite fighters out of Street Fighter 6. They also may show more of Tekken 8, which means that usually around this time, we already know that Eddie Gordo is already a known character. They may actually show who's being released in summer, possibly autumn. Again, that's a toss-up. We don't know as of yet. But because it is Evo, they do have a tendency of actually showing who it actually is. Guilty Gear Strive, which again, we're going to be seeing the last DLC character for that possibly. And also Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, they'll probably be showing their first demo, which means that those at Evo Japan will get to play it. You lucky SOBs.
I think that got confirmed recently.
Say that one more time.
I think that got confirmed recently that City of the Wolves is going to have a demo.
Okay. Because lucky them, they get to play it. And also, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising will also have their next DLC character showing there as well. And then the Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact, which again, for all those that don't know, is going to be another fighting game. I did not know Hunter x Hunter had a fighting game. This was news to me. So if this, oh no, go ahead, Joe.
So Tafari probably knows what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
This thing looks like hot dog shit. Like this thing
looks
don't do that like hot shit. So it's a 3-on-3 CVS style fighter where your max roster is 16 characters.
You gotta hurt. Why do you go? Oh, well, they're going.
And then they've already shown the dude with the glasses has a corner infinite already in the demo.
Well, there goes my anticipation. Damn.
And you know that bizarre flung state from CVS, that zombie state looking like this? Yeah, that's what everybody looks like when they fall. They all have that bizarre zombie state.
I saw clips of it floating around Twitter, and I was like, okay, this is like an early alpha build, or somebody got their hands on like maybe an early trailer from Evo or like some test stuff, and then they dropped the official trailer with that same footage. And all my friends who are big fighters are just like, it looks like you guys tried to make another Storm clone and backed out last second, and then made it like a 2D fighter and didn't fix the frame rates at all.
So that's not even alpha footage. That's what they're going with.
That's what I thought it was until the trailer dropped with that same footage. I'm like, y'all need to put this back in the oven.
Yeah, yes, Lizzie. It is Hunter x Hunter news. I'm just excited about it.
Hunter news.
You might want to listen to Joe and Safari because apparently they got to see some clips of it, and it ain't good. It's not good.
So before I saw the footage, I saw Justin Wong say, I just played Nin Impact for 2 hours and it felt like 10 hours. And I was like, oh, that must be really good. Then I looked at the trailer, like, oh, he meant it this way.
See, that's what's going to be terrible. But also, I closed that a little bit too.
That footage?
Say what?
Will, can you find any of that footage?
Let me see. I think they dropped the official trailer because all the footage kept getting leaked. Let me see if it's actually out.
Yeah, see, you can find that part while I explain. Because I did forget two other parts of that. Outside of the Hunter x Hunter, which again has already just took the winds out of my sails, we might actually be seeing news of a brand new Virtua Fighter game that's currently in development. They may or may not show it at Evo Japan 2024. Also, the game 2KO, formerly Project L. They're saying that it's possible they may show a demo of it. As of right now, it's not confirmed for that. But no, those are the only two things I forgot to mention off the Evo Japan 2024 board. But dang, that hurts my heart that Hunter x Hunter, you would think for a beloved anime that you're looking forward to the game and y'all have seen footage of it and it's trash already. I mean,
the other issue, I think, here's the other problem I think we have with the Hunter x Hunter fighting game is that if we are using the most prominent characters in that show, there's actually not that many.
That's what other people were saying. I've never watched Hunter x Hunter, but people were saying like, y'all don't have a lot of people to fill out a roster. So what are we doing?
Yeah, like they have like the Naruto, this initial Naruto problem where like you got to use those two water ninjas from episode 2 to fill 2 slots because you don't have a large enough cast in the grand scheme of things. Now, okay, there we go. Please, by all means,
if a streamer or a gaming channel has to put out your trailer first, it's usually 50-50 on if the game is good or not.
Anime fighters, yeah, that's true. All right, let's see what this looks like.
Storm was golden for a time because I'd never finished the Naruto anime because they were just taking too long with the fillers, and Storm 3 and 4 were great.
Interestingly enough, I actually have, before we start this and went too far, I actually read an article that came out last month that did the math.
Mm-hmm.
So, combining Naruto, Shippuden, and Boruto, it is officially confirmed that half of that franchise, literally 50% based out of all statistical episodes, that series is that franchise is 50% filler.
Huh.
Because Naruto,
we
Naruto original Naruto is 40%. Shippuden is 41%, and then Boruto is 80%. So you add it all up and then divide by 3. That franchise is 50% filler.
Which kind of confirms what a lot of people were saying about that.
Dude, they just ran it into the ground. It was just like
the best way to do that Naruto franchise is to play the video game.
Wow. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong.
I picked up at like the perfect time because Toonami was like a phantom at the time, and Disney XD Disney aired it for like 5 episodes and threw it away. So I picked up Storm 2 because I finished original Naruto, and right where Storm 2 left off is where the show was. So I finished the Pain arc. Then they back into filler hell with this infinite training arc for the war, and then Storm 3 drops. I'm like, I might as well just play this. And then while waiting for the anime to finish, Storm 4 and the manga finished. I'm like, I might as well I know where I left off too. There's 500 episodes. I stopped I got to 270. We were in the middle of a war, and then out of nowhere, we were back in the village, and Sakura had amnesia with the village. I'm like, we can't even. I don't mind the fillers that are like in the actual battle scenes, like the one filler I do like because I actually wondered when they pulled up all the rejects that they tried to revive, because when he went grave robbing, he kept grabbing the wrong corpse, and some of those people kept finding their family members on the battlefield. I was like, what are the odds? That filler was okay, because then the next day, Madara happened. So I was like, cool, we got the silly stuff. And then we're going to adapt 50 different novels and stretch it to 500 episodes.
I can tell you exactly where I stopped in Shippuden is where Rock Lee took him on the training exercise, and it turns out they went to a manure farm to literally shovel shit.
Nice. Okay.
Was that like first half or second half? I remember that.
I think that was the first half.
Jesus. Good God. Let me just see how bad this trailer is.
Roll the horrifying footage.
Yep, because y'all kind of killed my hope, so let's see how bad it is.
こういうやつがいるからやめられねえ。殺しはな。
試験の時からあなたとは戦ってみたかったんだ。やる気十分といったところかの。
じゃんけん悪いな。ゲームオーバーだ。いい加減にしやがれ。捕獲する。
死神クイズ。回答者はいらない。
百式観音。
年インパクト。
Okay.
So
I agree.
Who uploaded this? This was from DBZ Zanto. Yeah, be happy it wasn't PS360 HD too, because that dude will get your game nuked if it's not nice.
I'm just gonna be honest. I see why y'all said what y'all said now.
I thought it was early test footage because I'm like, the most polished thing is the intro animations, and you didn't even make their mouths move. Like,
what in the world? What
so
engine?
I saw,
yes,
no, Kingdom Hearts.
I saw this on Maximilian Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this on Maximilian Dude where he was showing the dudes The dude with the glasses. I don't know anybody in Hunter x Hunter, guys.
I
I will tell you exactly where I jumped off that series. Was where they were trying to cook the giant boars. I'm like, I'm done. So, like, if the dude with glasses